Well, it could be a whole lot worse, like it was last night. Greetings everyone, it's Ken. Welcome back to Theme Park Flavors, a vegan adventure where we explore some storytelling at theme parks and then taste some plant-based foods. Today might be a little different. I'm going to preface everything I just said with hopefully those things will happen. Today is Wednesday, August the 30th. Why is that important? Because it's about noon on this Wednesday, and I would typically be in the classroom teaching, but there's a hurricane floating around the Gulf of Mexico, causing all kinds of mayhem and problems. So it's a hurricane day for us, and I should be just staying home. I know that, but there's only one thing in the world that would drag me from my home during a hurricane. I'll let you know what that is when we reach Cat in the Hat, row 560. And you can see my lens is already fogging up from being in my ice-cold air-conditioned car, walking into the muggy heat that is Central Florida. So in my previous video, I was out here at Universal Orlando Resort at Islands of Adventure for annual pass holder appreciation days. I picked up a fun print, did some exploring, and bought some merchandise for Halloween Horror Nights. But today happens to be annual pass holder preview day for Halloween Horror Nights Tribute Store. Let's go check it out. And that is a whole lot better than being in the classroom. Okay, the archway is already decorated with this year's house offerings. Their banners. We have Stranger Things, The Exorcist, Believer. Over here, we have The Last of Us, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, and the one I think I'm looking forward to the most, Universal Monsters Unmasked. And I just noticed something through the gate. The Halloween Horror Nights banner. I have goosebumps. Let's head inside. Okay, so the summer tribute store that was dedicated to Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary is still here, which means I believe they moved the Horror Nights tribute store back to New York, next to Macy's. I mean, the attention to detail in this tribute store was amazing, is amazing. The arm was here. Samuel L. Jackson's arm was here, and now it's down there, look. Clever girl. That was fun. But back out into the sun, and let's head to New York. Okay, we are almost there, and I'm thinking when we're done, get a drink at Finnegan's. How's that sound? So here it is. This year's tribute store opens seasonally. Tribute general store. But before heading in, take a look at some of the fun things in the storefront windows. Here in the storefront window, it advertises a board game. First anniversary edition. A universal game. Halloween Horror Nights mystery game. And the board game is an actual map of Universal Studios Florida, right down to the sound stages off to the left, scare zones, lagoon in the middle.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Pretty cool. And you start, of course, at the archway. Super clever. And right next to that is a famous Monsters magazine of King Kong, which makes sense because we are next to the Revenge of the Mummy, which is where King Kong was. Oh, look at that. These are the books that you could have purchased in Earl's Tribute Store for the Holiday Tribute Store. Tales of the Holiday Tribute Store, Mardi Gras Edition, Halloween Edition, and Earl the Squirrel and Gerg the Llama. The black cat back there was the face of the tribute store a couple years ago. And there's the curator. That's his name. He's the host, I guess, of the comic book series. Pretty cool. And there's a collectible doll or figurine you can make. And there he is, the curator, greeting you as you walk in with another collectible right over here. Look at all the toys up there. Figurines. Including King Kong. Check it out. Because we're right next to the Mummy, which was the show building for the original Kong Frontation. I need that record, Spooky Sounds of Halloween. The velvety voice of Earl the Squirrel. It says, welcome, we've been expecting you. Among these pages you will find 4 stories that are designed to fill you with fear and leave you wanting more. As you turn the final page, try not to get trapped inside the Tribute of Terror. October 2023. So story 1 is called Grave Consequences. Story 2 is called False Idols, Part 1. Story 3 is called Pay Up. And the last one is called Eyes of the Ripper, Story 4. Top left it says number 32 because it is the 32nd Halloween Horror Nights. Exclusive Tribute to Terror. A collection of 4 horrifying stories. Okay, the curator starts us off. He says, good evening. Welcome to tonight's first tale of terror. We find ourselves in Hollow Hill Cemetery on an appropriate creepy evening. Bernie and Jack are local lowlifes who are always out to make a quick buck. But tonight they will learn that their actions may have some serious, grave consequences. Okay, the story of grave consequences. Ready? I just don't know why we always have to come here and take their stuff. Look here, old chap. Up top there's a shovel. Grave robbing is a victimless crime. All the fancy stuff these folks just buried with us, just rotting in the ground. Besides, they ain't gonna miss it. They're dead. Thud. Quit worrying. So they're digging up there until and at the end, here they are. Leave us be. What do you want from us? We want justice. These things are absolutely beautiful. Okay, here's the curator again. Welcome to the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps. But that does not stop it from having its fair share of nightmares. Better beware. This one is a story I like to call False Idols, Part 1. A Boris Schuster mystery. Look, we just saw Finnegan's outside. That's awesome. I love that this comic is all black and white. Alright, second room is a set of a private investigator's office. Schuster Brothers. It says, this city has a problem. A sickness, a plague, these creatures. Every day, there are more and more of them. Not quite man, not quite fish. Something else. No one knows what they are, or where they came from. All we know is that more and more of them we see, the more people go missing. I love that they have subway tiles. They show that we're in the subway. You can tell that it's raining in here, but also this is why it's important to look down. Up Up top it reads, yes, from what I've discovered, it is an ancient artifact, some sort of cult relic that is somehow related to these creatures. I began deciphering the inscriptions on it when my work was interrupted. Hold on a minute. Cult, relic, inscriptions? Just who are you? How did you find Jake and me? You better start talking, lady. How did you get this thing? This is it. Well, Mr. Schuster, here you are. Okay, he's back. This time drawn in a 1950s, 60s style comic book in a store called Pay Up. It says, Jim's Diner, a classic joint and a classic town. And what's that I hear? The rumble of motorcycles? The local gang is on their way to pay a visit to old Jim. I have a feeling they may be in for more than a fine cup of coffee and a slice of cherry pie. Okay, here comes the motorcycle gang. Up top it says, good evening, gentlemen. Now they're in the diner, and the girl behind the counter says, how may I help you? So, hey, you new here? I mean, where's old Jimmy boy at? Yeah, he didn't skip town on us, did he? Okay, so I just added pictures of the last panels. I couldn't read them because I'm old and my eyes don't work that well. But it looks like they found Pops. And he says, hey Pops, time for you to go. Are you deaf, man? Time to scram. And there he is, Jim. Looks like a classic grilled cheese and tomato soup. Last one to realize he's dead. Well, gentlemen, I think it's time to pay up. Okay, the curator's final story in his series. Okay, this says, welcome my friends to the Whitechapel district of London. The year is 1888, and I have a fiend I would like to introduce you to. Eyes of the Ripper. Obviously, Jack the Ripper. And he has a cat. Okay, these panels up here tell the story of Jack the Ripper in comic book style. Up top it says, death and fear hang heavy in the air. London in 1888 is in the grips of a madman. People go about their business because they have to, despite knowing there is constant danger lurking. Police stroll their beat with ever-watching eyes. Some call him Jack. All know him as the Ripper. And with 5 victims so far, the fearful public flood the police with tips, statements, and sightings. Some real, some fake, all horrifying. The artwork in here is just so phenomenal. It's so good. Okay, so I wasn't planning on buying anything today, but this I have to get. And I'll show you why when we get outside. The Legend of Halloween. Whether man or beast, he has never been caught. And to this very day, his identity is a mystery. So if you find yourself in Whitechapel area, be sure to check every alley, every doorway, and every corner, for you never know if the Ripper might still be lurking. And look at that backdrop. That's so amazing. Okay, one final message from the curator. It says here, well, it sounds like old Saucy Jack may still be hanging around some of his favorite old haunts. Better stay on your toes. You'll want to still be in one piece for the next chilling issue. And this is super clever. You're transitioning from the comic book world. Check this out. Back to the real world of New York. Which is where we're heading. Even here. That's a fun detail right there. I like that. And a classic New York City newsstand. With the curator. And here's what I purchased inside the tribute store. The Legend of Halloween by David Gordon Green and Onur Tukel. If I pronounced your name incorrectly, I apologize, but it's a children's book based on the motion picture and screenplay by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Again, a children's book with fun illustrations. There's a town called Haddonfield. Some folks say it's cursed. It started many years ago on October 31st. Oh, it's a rhyming book too. Goblins, ghosts, and witches were running all around, but no one saw the little boy dressed up like a clown. His name was Michael Myers. He seemed like a sweet kid, but you won't think he's very nice when you learn about what he did. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you clearly, but a children's book. Okay, so I just checked the local radar. And there is in fact a weather band coming through. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can purchase here that are plant-based for Halloween Horror Nights. We can't sample them until we actually arrive and come here one night. But let me show you a couple of things that I stumbled upon while exiting the park with my Smittix from Finnegan's. First off, here in Avenue Eats, there's pineapple with, it's a hen spice, $4.79. And you can tell it's plant-based because of that icon right there. Be mindful, there's a difference between the plant-based and the vegetarian. The plant-based has the extra leaf on the left-hand side. Just a heads up. Here at Fedra Food Rations, you can do the seasoned salt twisted taters. And again, vegan versus vegetarian, okay? Obviously this is vegetarian because it has Parmesan cheese, but the seasoned salt, and I had the ghost pepper last year. I mean, you can't come to Horror Nights and not get a twisted tater. Here at Gramercy Park Food Offerings, I'm very excited to try this. Vegan burnt ends, poutine, crispy fries topped with beefless burnt ends gravy, vegan cheeses and scallions. And again, plant-based, $9.99. And finally, for now, until we come back again, Surfer Boy Pizza, which I think is based off of Stranger Things. They have a Surfer Boy vegan pizza, $9.99. It says French bread style pizza with Guardian sausage crumbles, pineapple jalapeno, and mozzarella. All vegan. Sounds delicious. Not a big fan of pineapple on my pizza, but if Surfer Boy likes it, I'm willing to give it a try. Now look beyond Rip Ride Rocket. See all that gray? Those storm clouds are coming my way. So I need to get to the car. I'll meet you there. Looks as though I made it just in time. It is wet out there. And just like that, we're back in the car, out of the rain, with a giant thank you to you for tuning in and for watching and taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of time with me on our little mini adventure into the Halloween Horror Nights 2023 Tribute Store. I'm always in awe, whether it be the Tribute Store for Horror Nights, or we took a little bit of a mini tour before we're going in there to the Jurassic Park Summer Tribute Store. I did a full video on that earlier. I'm always in awe of the creative team and what they come up with, and the details that they put in, and all the artistry, whether it be a sculpture or a painting or whatever. It's just always so fun to be immersed in those worlds. But and of course the plant-based options, I didn't sample anything today, but we'll come back later. I just want to give you a little heads up on what was going on here. I can't wait to taste that poutine, that burnt ends vegan poutine. I mean, come on, fries and gravy? You had me at gravy. So thanks for watching and tuning in again, and I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and tap that little bell. You know what to do. Bye.